Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into something you might think you know pretty well, self-realization.
Yeah, but we're looking at it through a surprisingly fresh lens.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We're using excerpts from a text called From Caterpillar to Butterfly,
Yeah.
The Path to Self-Realization. It's by Andre and Amy Coben from Open Your Heart GmbH over in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission today really is to figure out what true self-realization means beyond, just climbing the ladder or getting more stuff.
And the authors give us this great starting point, this really simple but pretty profound analogy.
Oh, yes.
The caterpillar turning into a butterfly. They really focus on that caterpillar stage. First, its mission is just consume, eat, grow, gather energy.
Right, like it's bulking up.
Totally. But it's all preparation, not just for more eating, but for this radical interchange, this complete metamorphosis.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit then. How does that connect to us, to human life? We're born, people look after us, we get a foundation, and then it's sort of our turn to grow, right?
Mm.
But the source jumps right in and asks, essentially, do we get stuck? Stuck in that caterpillar phase of just consuming more and more.
Yeah, like chasing the next promotion, earning more money, buying a bigger house, more travel.
But is the question just for what? Is it just to feed more? Is that the trap they're pointing to?
That's exactly the contrast they draw. They talk about moving beyond that into what you could call the butterfly phase for humans.
Yeah.
And that's a point in life where it's less about consuming and accumulating and more about starting to create, to shine, to give something back to the world, build something meaningful.
So true self-realization, in their view, kicks in when we stop measuring ourselves by how much we take in.
Precisely. And instead, we start listening inwards. It's a shift they explicitly call moving from outer growth to inner transformation.
Inner transformation. So not just changing jobs, but changing something deeper.
Exactly. It's about shifting your internal operating system, you could say. Your core beliefs, your values, maybe even subconscious stuff. Moving away from needing external validation.
Towards aligning with something internal. Okay.
Right.
But here's where it gets really interesting, right? They take it deeper.
Mm-hmm.
This transformation is linked to becoming, and they use this phrase, a true man or woman. What's that about? It sounds like more than just growing up physically or starting a family.
Right. And they're careful to clarify it's not about traditional gender roles. Not at all.
Okay, good. So what is it then?
It's about integrating all parts of yourself. Your strengths, sure, but also your vulnerabilities, your logical side and your intuitive side. Becoming like a whole, authentic person.
Stepping outside of just what society expects.
Yeah, finding your own unique purpose, creating things you find beautiful, discovering values that actually mean something to you, not just following trends.
But, shifting from just consuming to creating. That sounds, hard. Does the source talk about the struggle, the resistance people feel?
Oh, absolutely. They're very open about their own journey. Andre and Amy talk about their own caterpillar stage.
What was that like for them?
Chasing achievements, yeah, but also dealing with, personal pain, confusion, lots of inner blocks. They actually say they didn't really start truly living, until they went through a deep transformation together.
Wow. Okay. So they lived it. Which raises the question, how do they help others do it? If they went through all that, what did they create to guide people?
Well, that led them to develop this whole framework. They call it PUZZLE, Comprehensive Holistic Solutions for Human Life.
Azideli. Okay.
And within that, there's a specific part. PUZZLE, self-realization and inner transformation.
And what's the approach there? Is it like more self-help books, more courses, more consumption?
No, that's the point. They specifically say it's not by pushing harder or consuming more information or techniques.
Well, how then?
It seems to be more about alignment, aligning with your soul, they say, your purpose, your true self as an integrated man or woman. It sounds like a structured way to sort of dismantle the old stuff holding you back.
And rebuild based on what's truly inside.
Yeah.
Finding your specific butterfly form, not just copying someone else's.
Exactly. It's a guided process, it seems, to uncover that core self.
Right. So if we boil this whole deep dive down, the core takeaway, the big invitation from this source is what? To shift from just eating more to actually becoming more.
That captures it perfectly, and they leave us with this final thought, almost a challenge, really. The world needs more butterflies. So the question for you, listening right now, is what might your own butterfly moment look like? What would that transformation mean for you?